Government is trying to control more and more and more, and it's scary because the cameras are everywhere. The Boston Marathon got cameras, and that's in one respect that's good. But on the other hand, Big Daddy is watching everything you do.
Absolutely not. It's the exact opposite of why we're here today. Sure.
Are you aware that Homeland Security is buying billions of rounds of ammunition, including hollow point bullets? They say it's for training. Does that concern you at all?
I was not aware, and it is quite concerning.
Significantly, if there's no reason for them to have hollow point bullets, there's no threat.
We declare war on terrorism and spend trillions of dollars on the war on terror. Do you feel more safe or less safe than pre-9/11?
It's a hard question. I feel safer because I know that they're watching now in ways they weren't thinking about before. But then again, as we know from the Boston Marathon, you can't really know what's going to happen and by whom at any time.
I probably feel just as safe as I did then. Yeah, I look a little bit more to see if backpacks are on the ground or who might be around me, but I guess I'm more aware. But you know, Europe's been living that way for a very long time, so I go about my business daily as anybody else.
And I'm standing right next to a legit relative of Captain John Parker. And how you doing, sir?
I'm doing excellent. All things considered, I marched for Sudbury Militia this morning, starting at 6 a.m. down at Sudbury Center. We marched the Old North Bridge and fired 3 volleys in honor of the founders of Sudbury and my relatives over there, David Howe and David Howe Jr. And now I'm over here at Lexington trying to honor my Parker relatives.
We're standing right in front of the Minuteman Tavern, Buckman's Tavern, exactly where this was conspired to say, hey, you know what, the British are coming, let's defend this land here.
Oh yeah, they had gathered around here early in the morning, probably 2 a.m., because they had been warned by Revere and Dawes, and they had told Sam Adams and John Hancock, who were up at the Clark Hancock house to get out of town. They thought they'd be coming right away, so a lot of these guys dispersed, and then they had to come back. So they came back probably 4:30, 5 o'clock. They had 77 Patriot militia against a force of 700 from the King's troops. They swore an oath to defend home and family against all tyrants and, you know, intruders, whatever. So that's probably where they get shot in the back. You know, they're not going to drop their firearms. They really wanted to take the guns out of Concord. That was their ultimate goal. I mean, they had been spying and learned about the committees of safety, and they knew what was out there through this act.
Do you see this going on today? Very similar things that we faced back 240 years ago. You see that we're facing almost the same stuff now today?
Yeah, there's a definite attack on our liberties involved in you know, spying on us, kind of like what they were doing back then. Crazy, you know, if you're speaking for the Constitution, you're thought of as, you know, not too highly.
And is that a great feeling to know that your cousin or uncle, whoever he is, stood against tyranny?
Yeah, definitely, for sure. Because I'm glad that my parents taught me about this whole thing that I was tied in. I really didn't, you know, back in years ago in the 70s and 80s, I said, yeah, that's a wonderful story. But now I see and feel it. I'm like, yeah, stand your ground means a lot.
Yeah, Edmund Burke quoted, "Those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it." And obviously, you know history and all that. But what the mainstream media is doing is they're erasing history. And do you fear that hopefully it doesn't happen someday? But do you fear our history would have to repeat it someday?
I sure as hell hope not.
Unalienable rights of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness is what we fought for in 1775. Here in 2015, those same rights are being trampled on once again. As Paul Revere warned, the British are coming. The British are coming. Today, we must follow his lead to warn that the New World Order is coming. The New World Order is coming. And assembled today is Captain John Parkers to once again stand our ground against tyranny and oppression. Dan Bedandi, INFOWARS.com.
You are watching the INFOWARS Nightly News, which airs 7 p.m. Central at INFOWARSnews.com. And your support is helping us defend liberty worldwide.